Hello and welcome to The Wizard and the Princess for the unexpanded Commodore VIC-20, and this was released by Melbourne House in 1982, and I did actually own this back in the day. I've got the cassette in my hands. I've no longer got my VIC-20, but I still have some of the games kicking around for some reason. And well, this is a multi-part adventure written in BASIC. So it's for the unexpanded VIC-20. So what they've done is they've split it into 5 loads, and it's quite well done, I think. And I think it's, you know, on the back it says it's a, what does it say? It says this program will show you the extent of the possibilities for the VIC-20, both in terms of graphics and in terms of going beyond the memory limitations of the standard machine. So, yeah, well, I suppose to a certain extent it does that, so let's get started. So, because it's written in BASIC, it can be a little slow at times. You can see it's trying to draw the screen. So the idea is that you have got to get to the castle and rescue the princess from the evil wizard and make your escape. So you start off, in the first adventure, you start off outside the castle and you've got to get to it by either moving right, left, or walking forwards. So if I walk forwards, okay, that's a cutscene of you falling off the hillside. So it's quite a treacherous path. The graphics in this level are done using the built-in pet ski character set, so they are a bit basic. So the idea is if you spin right, then it's got to redraw the screen. So it is a bit slow, this. I suppose there's a little bit of atmosphere added by it's supposed to be wind in the background. And if you turn right again, and hopefully we should find the path. There we go, so we can walk forward. And now we've got some, I think it's supposed to be a bird song. I mean, it's reasonably atmospheric. I mean, it's a very simple game, you can see that. Forward again. So we've got to the castle and the drawbridge is up. And press shift and stop for the next chapter, but before we do that, I'll just list the program. You can see it's entirely written in BASIC. And one of the good features of the game is that you can examine the code and see how it works, and you can learn for yourself how it's put together. I mean, this is back in '82, you know, where gaming wasn't quite mainstream yet, and it was certainly a bit of a homebrew feel to it all. And a lot of people got their games by magazines and typing in all these lengthy listings, and that's how they got the games and how they learned about the machine. So it's of its time for sure. But let's load in the next chapter. I'll just speed up the loading a little bit, although it doesn't take long to load in. Well, it can only be 3.5K at maximum. That's all that I had for BASIC for the unexpanded system. 3.5K for basic programs. Right, so this section is we've got to take on this dragon who's just behind the entrance of the castle. And you can see this version actually uses programmable graphics. And the scenario is that he's battle hardened over the years and his skills are fairly impenetrable, apart from one weak vulnerable point which you've got to find. And I don't think he can kill you. Well, he can kill you. It just restarts. So, I mean, graphics are pretty good. It's not a bad dragon. You know, we're talking 1982 on the VIC-20. I mean, what are you expecting? You're not going to get Dragon Age, are you? But I think it's reasonably well done. It's not got a lot of frames of animation, but it's okay. There's no frames of animation on your bloke, but from looking at the code and from looking at the managed to get him there, his vulnerable point is just underneath his head. But looking at the codes, the way it's structured, I think it's only got using 64 characters that it can reprogram. So I think he's done well. Old, what's his name? Old Clifford Ramshaw, he's the programmer. He's done well to get those sort of graphics on the unexpanded VIC and running BASIC. So the next section is we've got to make our way through the labyrinth. In this section, well, this is probably the hardest section of the game. It doesn't require any skill, but it does require you to make a map and do a bit of exploration. So you see it's taken a while to set up. It's one of these pseudo 3D maze games that were all the rage back then. I suppose 3D Monster Maze on the ZX81 is the most famous, but it actually had a bit more to it because there was a bit of tension because it had a Tyrannosaurus Rex running through the maze and it would eat you if it found you. But this game doesn't have that, it's just purely an exploration game. And we can turn around. I mean, it's reasonably well done. It's quite fast to draw. But I don't have a map, so I won't be able to complete this particular section. But you get the idea. I mean, graphically it's very simple, but yeah, it's also written in BASIC. I think it's just using Shift N, yeah, to draw the walls. Shift M to draw the other walls. So you can see it's all fairly simple. It's not. I mean, I don't know how these guys managed to program on the VIC do all this just on that. Look at the size of the text, a 22 character wide display. it's pretty hard going. It's a lot easier on the C64. So on to the fourth adventure. This is graphically the weakest. It's fairly abstract looking. So the idea is that you've got to defeat the wizard's minions and then rescue the princess. And it's just left, right and forward and T to thrust your sword. It's fairly abstract, so we're the red set of squares. And top right you can see there's fatigue and wounds. So it's a bit. I guess this is more of a attempt to do a sort of role-playing game. And it's fairly abstract. It's often better to. I mean, it's random as well where the enemies are, but it's often better to try and sneak by them if you can. I don't think if you take on too many, I think you're just going to end up dead. But okay, that's 2 empty screens. Yeah, the controls don't seem to work as they should. Right and left seem to be mixed up. Another empty screen, I might look out here. Sometimes it can be quite challenging, but I think we're going to make it this time. So there we go, the wizard is dead and the princess is waving her hands at the top of the screen there. That was a bit naff looking out, I've got to admit. So on to the final chapter. Yeah, so I had this back in the day and I was a kid, I must have been about 8 years old. Yeah, it's. I mean, it has its charm. It was quite highly regarded, I think, by the press. Looking at it now, it's quite simple. I mean, each section is quite simple, but viewed as a whole, I think it's a reasonable adventure. But only the third section really offers any challenge. See, all the other sections are quite easy. So the last section is we've got to escape from the castle, just got to escape from the falling rocks and defeat the troll that guards the bridge. Again, it uses redefined graphics. Not much sound in this level, it's just the sound of the rocks hitting the bridge. There we go, managed to defeat the troll. And we're at the end of the game. You've rescued the princess from the evil clutches of the wizard. His castle has been destroyed. So there you go, that's the wizard and the princess for you. Quite a short game. I mean, I quite enjoyed playing this back in the day. I don't think it's terrible, but it's obviously doesn't pose much of a challenge if you've already completed it. Only the third section does. But I mean, I think it's alright. So I'll give it 6 out of 10. I think as a graphic adventure on the whole, it's reasonably atmospheric. But yeah, it doesn't offer much of a challenge. So 6 out of 10 for The Wizard and the Princess, and see you in the next video.